tell me about this loom and what you have going on here.
This is a 8-harness floor loom, and the harnesses are this part of the loom, and the harnesses are what actually are one of the key components in creating the pattern in weaving.
Okay.
So the more harnesses you have, the more complex the weave structure is, the interlacement pattern. So you can do literally thousands of weave structures with 8 harnesses.
Wow.
This particular scarf that I'm working on right now is a cotton warp that I dyed. You can see the variation in the warp.
Nice.
And this particular pattern is called turned twill.
Okay.
And so I'm weaving actually different size boxes in this particular scarf. And I went up to larger sizes, and now this is halfway through, and then I'm going to decrease sizes to finish it.
Very cool. So this is you're just taking over the whole house.
Yes.
So this is the front room, and it's beautiful. And we have a loom. Now show me another area where you work and the other studio.
My large
wow.
AVL, that's the brand. It's a computerized Dobby production loom. This is called a sectional warping wheel. And this allows me to put on very, very long warps. The warp is the up and down part.
Right.
You see the warp here. In this case, I put on a warp, this navy rayon, I think it was about 23 yards long.
You're too cute. You really want it to be all about you, don't you? You want to be in it. So you said this is computerized. So tell me what that means. It's such a beautiful, beautiful machine and seems ancient, but actually maybe it's not.
This loom is 28 years old.
Okay.
The loom in the other room is probably close to 45.
Wow. And how is it that it's connected to the computer?
Well, there is a USB connection. You see my laptop there.
Right.
And what the computer does is this loom has 16 harnesses, so I can do even more complex structures. In this case, I'm only using 8 of them. I don't have to use all of them. And what the computer does in this case is it tells it which harnesses to lift in which order.
Okay.
In contrast to the other loom, which I do that with my feet.
Okay.
I have to create a treadling pattern with my feet.
Okay.
In this case, I'm just treadling up and down, and the computer lifts it, and we'll do a little demo, and you can see what happens.
Oh, nice. So I'm assuming this computer app is something that was made after this loom was made, right? And made to work with it?
Well, actually,
or has it been around?
This technology, the Dobby loom was originally created in the 1700s.
Okay.
And it was Dobby boys who actually raised the harnesses on the side in the correct order. Okay. Then it progressed to what's called a mechanical Dobby, which is a peg system, and a track system, which is a physical system with pegs that tells these which order to come in. And this loom can do that, but I'm not doing that.
Right. And so you're using all the tools at your disposal, including the computer.
In the 1950s, the weaving industry wanted to begin to use computers to have production.
In the 50s. Wow.
In the 50s.
Wow.
And so it actually was developed at the same time the earliest computers were, because it's a binary system. It's either on or off with the harness.
It's very simple, yeah.
It is a very simple system.
This just seems like a really mundane question that a lot of people wouldn't ask, but I did take weaving in high school. And I never had to thread the loom. My teacher threaded it for us.
Which we call warping the loom.
Warping the loom, okay.
The whole process is
How
called
long
warping.
does that it looked so crazy complicated. How long does that take?
Generally, rule of thumb is that you spend half your time warping and half your time weaving.
Right.
So, and it depends, obviously, on how fine the yarn is, how many ends per inch you're weaving, how wide your warp is. But one of the reasons I like to weave longer warps is I do the work of the warping, and then I get to weave a bit longer.
A bit longer, because it takes so long to set it up.
Yes. I mean, some people, who aren't doing a lot of weaving will just do one project per warp.
Wow.
I have actually never done that.
Right.
I think when I was
You get down to business.
I was like, why would I just do one when I could do 3 or 4?
Right.
And so part of what I enjoy is creating different things on the same warp.
Okay.
So this particular, you can see this kind of deep burgundy, red, and navy.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And it looks quite different from the previous scarf I did, which was with a very different yarn, even though this is actually the same pattern.
Oh, wow.
But
how
I can
cool.
also
So
change-
look at that. So this is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger as you go along.
Yes, I have, I think, 3 more scarves on there. And I've done, this is actually the 5th one.
It's moving now. Okay. Hey guys, Rebecca here. I'm with Ann Cameron, and I just showed you around her studio. She's a weaver, and she's been doing this how many years?
8 years.
8 years. She knows her stuff. And we were talking earlier, and I was asking her about how steeped she is in the history of weaving and how she gets that knowledge. So tell me about that.
Well, for one thing, I'm really passionate about it. I love it. And I'm curious, and I want to learn about my craft. I want to learn about my equipment. Since I've gotten really into this, whenever we travel, I seek out, museums, textile museums.
Do you bring home a lot of textiles? Or not so much?
Not really. I'm particular.
Yeah.
And I went to Peru last year with my son, and I got a couple of things. Like one is over there in the living room. Just a couple though. And so I tend to be more interested in information and like looking at old equipment. I was in Amsterdam last year, and I got to go, and actually they let me weave on one of their looms from like 1780 or something.
Wow,
because I explained to him I was a weaver, and he was like, "Go ahead, do some weaving." So, yeah, cool. I'm just curious, and I love to learn.
Yeah. Now, each of your pieces, they're one of a kinds, or you do lines of different things and repeat?
Everything is one of a kind.
Everything's one of a kind.
I mean, I may do, for example, this scarf is a bamboo warp, and I did 5 different scarves on this warp, but I did different treadling patterns to create a different weave structure, and I also used different weft yarn to create a different colorway. Okay. So if you buy something from me, there will never be another person that has the exact same thing.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so one of a kind.
Cool. Are you ready for the show?
I am ready.
October 6th and 7th, right? I think that's right.
Yes, October
26th
and 27th.
In Addison.
I have, I weave a lot, and I'm a production weaver. I'm fast, and I love to do it. I'm retired, so I spend a lot of time doing this. I have scarves and shawls and garments.
And stuff for men, you said?
I have some neckties and scarves for men too.
And the laptop thing.
Laptop, yes, I have laptop sleeves and little handbags.
What about tablet sleeves or handbags that tablets could go in?
I actually don't have those. I think I'm just going to do like computer sleeves.
Computer sleeves, yeah. Nice.
So Christmas is coming.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's going to be a fun event. I saw the space this week, and it's really nice. The exhibit hall it's not so big that you're going to be overwhelmed. It has an intimacy to it, and the lighting is not that horrible convention center fluorescent lighting. It's more incandescent, or it's yellow. It's warm. The lighting is warm, which will be good for, I think, all of our work. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and what else are you doing at the sale? Tell them about that.
Oh, I'm doing a demonstration. I'm bringing in a floor loom, a small floor loom, and I will be weaving. And
some questions.
If people have questions, they can see the process, and I can connect them to this is what this is, and a little bit of a learning opportunity, and
that'll be fun
to get an idea of what is involved.
Right.
In January, I made a bunch of aprons.
Oh, aprons are cool.
Yeah.
That's such a great gift.
And I did have a couple of markets, and I didn't sell any.
Well,
so it's interesting.
One thing my first response is, your work is so precious.
Yeah.
Like I would be afraid to get
right.
food on it.
Right.
Like, I can't get it dirty.
But it is functional. They are functional.
Yeah.
They're washable.
Yeah.
I do dish towels, and I actually...
You expect people to use them.
I use them. I mean, I that's what I use in my kitchen
That's
now.
great.
I mean, I don't clean the floor
because they
with
are
them.
washable.
I do it when
natural fibers.
Absolutely, every woven piece has been wet finished.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It's part of the process of completing the weaving. Mm-hmm. Helps the fibers blend and merge and creates fabric instead of just a web. Mm-hmm. And so when I do functional, well, it's all functional. Mm-hmm. I don't do artistic like art
wall
weaving.
pieces.
I have done that, but I generally don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in getting things to people that they can use,
right.
wear, use. But the dish towels I do are either all cotton or linen, cotton and linen, and I always wash them in the washing machine and dry them in the dryer before I even finish them.
Oh wow!
Because,
so they're ready to go.
Yeah, so everything that you and I also give instructions on the card in terms of whether this needs to be hand washed or it can be machine washed, whether it can be machine dried. And so it's functional, and I use them. I mean, I always, like when I make a batch of towels, I always keep one and use one.
That's great.
So.
That's great. So for the folks that are watching this on YouTube that cannot come to Texas for our sale, come on to Texas.
Really, take a visit.
Take a visit. Where can we find you online?
I have a website, which is Tisse Designs, Tisse Designs.
Okay.
And Tisse means weaving in French.
Okay, very nice.
And then I have an Etsy shop, which is Wovens by Tisse.
Okay. We'll put, you guys that are watching, we'll put that in the description below. So go check out her Etsy and her main website and get some gifts for the holidays before they're all gone. Because I have a feeling they're going to go. Nice to meet you, Anne.
Yeah, so great to see your time with you.